Not much happening lately for Team Melli, but it is time to focus on our Legionnaires. Sardar Azmoun of Bayer Leverkusen is our main topic today, but we will also have a scouting report and our highlight of the week from the Persian Gulf Pro League. You know the deal, and you know what time it is. It's time for Team Melli Talk. Will Azmoun continue his good form with Bayer Leverkusen? Hey everyone, welcome back to Team Melli Talk. The main topic of our agenda today is Team Melli striker Sardar Azmoun. And for this episode, I am joined by my good friend, Roy Kaviani.
Roy, welcome back to Team Melli Talk. It's great to have you on the show, man.
Hi, Alisha. Thanks for having me again. I miss being on the show. I haven't seen you since the World Cup. So hopefully I'll see you in the US soon.
All right, of course. Also hoping to maybe make a trip for the Asian Cup, but we'll see what happens about that one.
Yeah. Hope you come. I'm lucky that I'm gonna see Team Melli again. So at home turf. It's not going to be as easy as we think, but inshallah.
So let's get right to it. As we know, Sardar Azmoun has been playing pretty well lately for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. And in fact, I believe he has scored 4 goals in his last 6 appearances, in his last 6 league appearances. But from my point of view, I'm not a really big fan of the amount of minutes he has been getting. So, what is your opinion on this? I mean, what have you got to say about this?
I'm not sure if it is something to do with him or his form. It might be just the preference of the manager, but he's not from the way Bayer Leverkusen play, especially the RB on the right side. He's more suited to play behind the main striker. You saw that he did the assist in the Europa League as well. So some coaches would like to have him as an impact sub to play the last 30 minutes, fresh legs, and finish the game off. Sometimes he's just going to start. So I think he's going to have to keep fighting for his place, which is better for him. And I'm not sure how long his contract is. I mean, if it doesn't work out, he can always go to another club in Bundesliga, as long as he doesn't leave that league and go somewhere else. He needs to stay there. But I think it's better if he keeps fighting for his place in the team.
Okay, I actually had one other question. I had another part of that question I wanted to add to, but I just want to say it now is, do you think this is an ideal situation for Sardar Azmoun to be playing at Bayer Leverkusen?
Yeah, I think he seems happy to be there. It does not getting enough minutes is not necessarily a bad thing, because he's in a strong team. So being part of a strong team sometimes is better than being in the main man in a weak team. Like if he comes to the Middle East, he's going to be the main number 9 in any club here. But the training methods in Europe is in a top team. The team was in the Champions League, then Europa League now. I think it's better for him to stay where he is, or move to another club that's playing in Europe, in Germany, or one of the top 4 leagues, but not drop to another second class league.
Another thing for me to add is that we have seen Azmoun, it's basically become normal for him to be coming off the bench for head coach Xabi Alonso. So in your opinion, though, do you feel like this is a role that Azmoun should be happy with? Considering that he basically is looking like he's a secret weapon off the bench for Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, is this a role he should be happy with?
At the moment, yeah, but he just needs to keep fighting until he proves that he's better than the other striker as a number 9 in the team. Which for us as a Team Melli is good because it keeps him on. Because some players, once they guarantee their spot as a starting number 9, their form might dip. The same thing happens in Newcastle. We've got Isak, who's a Swedish international, and he costs 60 million. For almost 5 months, he's on the bench. He comes on, and he kept doing this until the last 4 or 5 weeks. He became the main striker, and Callum Wilson, who was England international, dropped to the bench. So you just have to fight for your spot, and it's better for him. Keep fighting. You'll be in top form, and then when the Asian Cup comes, you're ready.
As we know, UEFA Europa League will continue this week for Bayer Leverkusen. And as we saw in the first leg, a 1-1 draw against Belgian club Union Saint-Gilloise, doing my best to pronounce that, Azmoun came off the bench and he provided a very nice assist in that match. I mean, so of course, the way I see it, and also when talking about today's game, I feel as if when you look, of course, the first leg of Europa League was just a few days ago. That was this past Thursday, and it was I believe it was Florian Mertz who scored the goal. Um, for Leverkusen, and Azmoun got the assist. So, Azmoun was actually in the starting lineup today in the match against Wolfsburg, and that ended in a dull 0-0 draw. But Azmoun started this time, but he was subbed off in the 62nd minute. So when I saw that today, it made me say that Xabi Alonso was saying that his main striker needed some time to rest, and that's why he gave Azmoun the start.
Yeah, so that's a big indication that Sardar's going to be on the bench in the Europa League game, and the same thing's going to happen. He might not even come on if they score first or go 2-0 up. Depends how the game goes. If they're losing, he might come on really quick. But I reckon you will not see him before 60 minutes of the match.
So obviously looking back at that match, it was a 1-1 draw. And, this is we're in the quarterfinals of Europa League. That the first leg, the 1-1 draw, was played at Bayer Arena in Leverkusen. Then second leg is going to be played this Thursday, I believe, in Brussels, and that's of course going to be that's in Belgium. So do you have any? What would you say? Do you have any predictions for this match? Let's just say predicting the score. I think it's going to be a really tough one on the road.
Yeah, I mean, until that game, I never heard of that Belgium team, and then I checked and I realized they're second in the league. So it's not an easy team to play against, obviously, but. I think Bayer Leverkusen's got enough firepower, especially they've got Diaby on the right wing, and he's wanted. Well, last year or in this summer, he was wanted by a lot of clubs in Europe, and his form dipped a bit. So if he goes back to his form, that team is really dangerous. They'll finish him off. So I'll predict 2-1. Yeah, Leverkusen will win.
Well, I definitely hope you're right about that one. I'm obviously hoping that Sardar Azmoun will, either score a goal or provide another assist for Florian Wirtz. Just want to make sure I, corrected myself from earlier. But yeah, definitely hoping for some good things for Bayer Leverkusen because obviously when you compare Europa League to Champions League, we know which one is more important. But people need to remember that if you win the Europa League, you get a spot in the UEFA Champions League for the next season. So this is a huge incentive.
It is, yeah, and it's extra financial gain as well. You already you can forget about where you finished in the league then as well. So it's easier to win the Europa League sometimes than getting a Champions League spot in your own domestic league. Don't forget that Feyenoord's got another one as well, so we might have two Iranians in the final. That's fingers crossed.
Yep, of course, that would be awesome. Would be amazing. And of course, yeah, I'm definitely going to have another upcoming episode to talk about Alireza Jahanbakhsh. But of course, for the time being, we're obviously focusing on Sardar Azmoun and Bayer Leverkusen and at Bayer Leverkusen.
Roy, as always, a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks a lot, and hopefully I'll see you in Doha again.
Sounds like a plan, so I'm definitely hoping for.
I hope so. Yep, we'll finish unfinished business that we couldn't do when the last time you were here. And the Jeep's still here, so.
No, of course. We'll sounds like a plan to me.
For today's scouting report, it only makes sense to scout a center forward. Now, Iran has plenty of options at this position, but of course, Team Melli always needs to build for the future, and this is a message that really needs to reach head coach Amir Galenoui. Today, we'll be looking at Mohammad Reza Azadi of Aluminium Arak. Azadi has scored 6 goals this season, and Aluminium is also coached by former Team Melli keeper Mehdi Rahmati. Mohammad Reza Azadi was once on the Team Melli radar as a player with a lot of potential. In fact, he even signed with the Greek club Panetolikos when he was 21 years old. Unfortunately, he only made 10 appearances for Panetolikos, and he returned to Iran for a short spell with Esteghlal. But since joining Aluminium, his form is picked up, and Aluminium has been a solid team this season and will likely finish mid-table. Now, I'm not implying that Mohammad Reza Azadi is Team Melli material right now, but he definitely deserves a call-up. Now, what about you? Do you think Mohammad Reza Azadi deserves a call-up to Team Melli? Leave a comment down below. always look forward to getting your input. To finish off this week's episode, let's take a look at the top of the Persian Gulf Pro League table. This season's champion will be Esteghlal, Sepahan, or Persepolis. It will be a fight to the finish, and don't forget about the famous Tehran Derby next week. As for the highlight of the week, well, this is a no-brainer. Goalkeeper Hossein Hosseini scored from the penalty spot for Esteghlal in a 6-1 thrashing of Havadar. And of course, it is always great when a goalkeeper gets his name on the score sheet. What a moment this was for goalkeeper Hossein Hosseini. And let's not forget, Hossein Hosseini is forever part of Team Melli folklore, as he is one of 3 goalkeepers to get a win for Team Melli at the World Cup. And that's it, everybody, for this edition of Team Melli Talk. As always, really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website, www.teammelitalk.com. Remember, this is your best source for the latest news on Team Melli, the national team of Iran. Make sure you find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know the handle, @Team Melli Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification button. See you on the next edition of Team Melli Talk.